Johan and Frank, Johan, you're from Vertaiset, Grassfish, Dice. I think you acquired already 7 softwares, if I counted right, or 8 now, or whatever in your life. So you've seen a lot of softwares. Frank, you're with Signage Live, one of the leading softwares, also a very close Samsung partner. You have always been one of the first ones really adapting to the latest Tizen and SLPs and everything. So you both know the world quite well. You know Samsung quite well. So what is your first reaction or your second reaction? Because, I mean, you have seen it already at ISE, but now we're getting more details. And I think it's very difficult because these different layers. You know what it's VXT. VXT, it's a full suite, and I think we need to a little bit better understand. So, Johan, you want to start? So, what's your reaction, and what do you think? Do you see potential for you to have a white label product which you could imagine as an in-app or so?
Like first reaction, I think all innovation in the software space is really appreciated. So like Samsung and big players stepping into the market, investing money, and bring talented people into the game, has so much value. So I think the innovation you bring in to the space, also like from a technology perspective, I think a lot of good things will come out of this. It also shows that the software play is about integration with other capabilities, platform applications, and so on. So my questions will be more on like the go-to-market play when we come back to that.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I can definitely echo that. It's interesting with new innovation, but obviously I think the whole channel are looking a lot to what you guys are doing, and especially the North American stories about going direct. But also, of course, as CMS partner, where bigger our estate is based on Samsung, we look on this very curiously, and your little apps story was kind of something we're definitely going to discuss over the next minutes, I'm sure.
Good. And I mean, Jason Kremens, CEO of Signage Live, I think he published a video this week, and he said about disruption or destruction. But he also said he's really thankful for Samsung for always trying to rewrite the rules of the industry and to pushing the boundaries because it opened up new spaces, right? I think that's what he basically said.
Yeah, and I think whether it's let's say a hardware vendor starting to produce CMS, or it's a CMS trying to do hardware, we've seen both in the industry, and it is a disruption. But I think sometimes it's good to shake the tree a little bit and see new ways of doing business. So,
yeah, good. We're talking about platform industry. We're talking platform economy. We also know it's limited to certain use cases. I mean, let's face it, Tesco won't go to your store, have this huge credit card and say, okay, we're now, doing this. So, Johan and Frank, where do you see the limits? Where do products end and where do solutions start? And William, to you, how will you manage in the future? If you start just buying 2-3 licenses, you're a big corporation, you like it. How will you manage once they call you, say, oh, this first level support, we would like to buy 3,000 license. I'm sure you would say, give you a credit card, that's fine. No, but where's the handover? Obviously, because the platform economy is not made for tailor-made solutions. So where do you have an idea? All 3 of you who want to answer that.
Basically, I think that's the thing that we will see. Like, I don't claim to have a vision into the future, how this will evolve. But I think that the big mistake that I think is obvious is that it's you underestimate the work that the integrators are doing. Because basically, you can have an app to a phone. There is a big incentive to create apps to like 1 billion of iPhones in the world.
Which is fully standardized, same.
And of course, but if you take the same play into what people in this room are doing, like it's very few use cases where it's a queue number. It's art on the wall. Where like if you go just one step ahead, if you have like a real estate agent that have 3 branches, and you have an app for real estate, someone needs to do the work and the conceptualization, the integration, and do the full service delivery there. And I don't see that as really repeatable. Like at least we haven't been able to like reuse any like application 10 times in like almost 20 years in the industry. So that's my question.
That's actually a very good question. If I just may say with regards to the point that you've had, right? Indeed, if you install an app, it is not just the app. There's a lot that goes behind just this app. So let's use the case of a real estate. So I've installed an app. There is a consultation service behind it. There is training. There is understanding of even how to maximize the possibilities or capabilities of that app. Okay, so there's a chain of services that's being offered behind it. And this is what a platform economy is all about. So how do we make use of this app as just the first entry point to discover first who you are, what this app is all about? And then how do we make use of this to then open the door to more services being provided through you and with the global presence of Samsung to then scale this globally, right? So the repeatable part of things is not so much that I'm repeating the usage of an app. That's just pretty much common sense because, of course, that's my app. I've bought it. I'm using it 10,000 times. It doesn't really matter. It's more, how do we scale this operation? How do we expand it? So again, this is the core mission of VXT, right? It is really an expansion mission, right? And to address your question with regards to if I've purchased VXT, okay, right. So again, one thing to understand is that to access VXT, you need to have a Samsung account, okay? We currently have millions of Samsung account users out there.
Yeah, but most of them consumers, right?
100%. But then again, those consumers, some of them are business owners. We don't know who they are, right? So we wanted to give them access to trial VXT. First, discover it, make it very super accessible. So from home, they're testing it, right? Through testing, of course, they may test maybe 3 licenses free of charge for 60 days, test it. But then when it comes time to purchase, that person could be a procurement manager. And it could be a large opportunity.
William, I totally understand, and we all see the potential, otherwise we wouldn't be here. And for me, the big potential really is not only the platform as a technology base, but really how you can reach out to target groups typical digital signage integrators, neither Vertiseit nor Signage Live are currently working with. And you showed that, or you proved a little bit with Magic Info already in the past, that you reached out to IT integrators who otherwise would never know that there's a Vertiseit or a Signage Live, because let's face it, all our brands in the signage world, nobody knows them, It's tiny, compared to the IT world. So it needs someone. So the question is really, and that's where I see the potential, if you can open up business owners, if you can open IT integrators, you can open up IoT people or whatever, and open them up for digital signage, get them interested in digital signage, and open up the opportunity to download or try a Vertiseit app, whatever you call it, or a Signage Live. I think that has some potential. No? You don't see that?
Oh, Frank.
Okay. But
why?
please have...
No, I do. You kind of mentioned yourself, and I saw it during your presentation. One of the things, like, we're going to reach out to all our existing customers, and I think for the partners who build their business around you as a partner, that would probably be seen as kind of disruptive or destructive even. So I think that for me will be a very serious consideration whether we would build our future on App Store with you. And but I think it's definitely. A change in the way we do, but I think again, as Johan said, you're underestimating the impact the integrator have. I think the very large installations we have globally are all made because we have extremely good integrators, and that what they add to the value. It's not about hardware, software. It's really about what they add of extra, because none of them are out of the box and will not be replicated just by adding a piece of hardware. So I think that's the big difference. Yeah, but this is a business both of you are doing. Absolutely, I totally agree. But there's a huge long-tail business. And many people claim that this long-tail business is not really developed yet. That, people are using, let's face it, you go to a restaurant, most of restaurants have like a typical consumer screen, where it always shows, the Samsung free, Play software, where it always shows no sound and starts all over again. So don't you see there's a potential to upsell them to a version which is not a full-scale Signage Live. Maybe you have a different name or a slim version of it or so. Signage Live experience.
But basically, I think my point is, if we step out of this industry because we have and take something else, if you implement Salesforce, of course there is a benefit of having an app to install, but that's like signing of a contract. But someone needs to do the configuration of like a process to sell, right? And it's the same in this industry, that someone needs to design the customer experience. So the customer experience and the value it brings is basically the foundation for the demand. So the demand is not like the app. So I think it could coexist, but the big pain is not that it's hard to take the code needed for queuing information into a digital signage solution. And I don't see that having that as an app, that Samsung will open up millions of doors in another part of the world for that application. I just don't see it. But the good thing, like with what you're doing, is that you actually, because in all the presentations I've seen of EXT, you never talk about integrators. You talk about like the digital agencies that should do the apps. And I think that is a good thing, because we need more openness for like digital companies that work more integrated into the digital ecosystem of the customers to bring all the pieces together. But I think what's missing is that it's not a canvas with drag and drop apps that is the solution for the industry. I just don't see it.
Okay, I think I agree with you when we talk about experiences. You know, the core you're doing your business. But don't you think, I mean, for enterprise, you know, just some room signage or this basic stuff, and there's hundreds of thousands of them that, you know, they're very simple. There's no hardcore back-end connection or so. It's usually pretty simple, and it's probably connected to their Office 365 or so, something where you have a standard API. Don't you think there's a market for that? Or don't you even think that it's at least bringing new competition to free offerings? I mean, look at Frayman, what they do. You know, Frayman gives away a pretty decent software for free, and they refinance through programmatic to advertisement. Yes, it comes at a cost. I mean, obviously nothing is for free. We know that, but it's something. But it's new to the market and it's disrupting the market. So it's not about, you know, oh, let's stick in our experience world and it's not there. But I think maybe it's a parallel world to the existing experience market. But this parallel world in future may overlap. Don't you think so?
Yeah. Now I seem pessimistic here, but
no, that's fine.
It's just for the sake of the discussion. So, but the value proposition is that it's for long tail, it's for enterprise, it's for all verticals. And I think it will be a different game for me in my head if you say, like, you swipe your card. It's an entry point for digital signage. You can use it for various corporate communication, a Power BI application, room booking solution. You can use it for weather information and a social media wall and some cool art. But when you claim that you should do it for a lot of verticals in large scale, then I think it's on a path that will not be beneficial to get like the ecosystem working.
Okay, maybe the marketing is not right because they claim to be a broadliner, and maybe it's just focused on certain things. But there, I think you agree that there could be a market. It's not a generalist, but it's a specialist.
Definitely, and I think like the collaboration between digital agencies, different platforms, and break the silo and go step into new tech. I think the tech, like all the tech choices you've done, is really great. I think from a tech perspective, and many parts of like the user experience is great. So and if you have the chance to onboard more people into digital in-store and digital signage, if you bring more digital agencies into the space, more talented people, it's fantastic.
That's actually the whole point of VX. It is to be a platform that provides, of course, services also. It's a transactional platform. So through VX, of course, the CMS is just the anchor, right? Around the CMS, as I was saying earlier, there are services being offered, consulting services, installation services, integration services, and all these things, we would want to actually promote them through VX. So this is just a starting point. But going back to what you said earlier with regards to, and I think you've asked the same question maybe 2 or 3 times differently. I'm standing next to someone, I'm not going to mention which one of those, who is actually a very inspirational figure to me personally in my early days in Samsung when I was pushing SSP, right? And I've actually met that person in his previous company, and as I was trying to explain the benefits of why should we have a PC-less solution, the IT personnel said, "Hey, our PCs are strong enough, they're robust, they can do this and that. Can your SoC do this?" Well, at the time we couldn't. And then that person
Today
said,
you can. Today it's very good.
Of course. And then that person said, "Hey guys, hang on a second. Do you not see the vision here? Maybe we could actually have an entry-level solution to tap onto this market where we are not, because we are a premium service. We're a premium digital signage company, but we need to get this entry level, this bottom line. Maybe let's create something very basic on there to draw this crowd." I'm pretty sure this person recognizes himself.
Well, William, I think also we are currently just discussing as Europeans, right?
Correct.
And in North America, this huge market of business TV, this ruggedized consumer TVs, which is nobody uses in Europe more or less, But it's a huge market, and maybe that's something which is more the prime focus at the beginning, really to upgrade these consumer guys, a market which we really don't have here. I mean, we only have the ones which don't have any software at all, and we are professionals. But in other markets, there's this in between. But maybe that's where it could work quite well. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just to your comment, it was me who brought actually Samsung into to Scala, and Chris Riegel will probably hate me for it.
Yeah, Chris Riegel is not a fan of Samsung. I think we can. It's not a secret. He loves his Linux, but that's okay. That's fair enough. Everyone has his USP. That's cool. Good. So, So we are here now. You're launching it, and it seems like it's a beginning. I think we all learned that Samsung is always often first in the market, and the first generation of services and products, still needs some tweaking and some things. I think what we all see, and I also from here, it's quite a brave move, and it's important that we have disruption in the industry, and that we're opening up to new target groups. And I think that's really, really important. Even if some here on the panel still believe it's not ready yet for Europe or for your experiences, but we all see that there's a need to change the market, to have a different approach to it. And for me, framing is a typical thing. It's something, is a big finance by Axel Springer. And they're giving away CMS for free, because they have a different business model. And I think we need to be open to that, and we need to at least, discuss it and think about it, even if it doesn't fit our current understanding of the market. But it may well be, the predominant business model in a few years. If it's good or not, that's a different story. But at least, I think we need to be creative, and our industry has too long, been a silo, and it was a cozy silo. We all liked that, But I think it won't stay like this, There will be new disruption coming on. There will be VXT, a frame, and there will be new players coming, and they will just, disrupt and do things differently. And I think that's refreshing. It's debatable, no question about it, but it brings new ideas to the industry. Would you sign that off, or?
100%.
I just want to have a peaceful end of that discussion.
No, but that's really good. I think you raised the bar, like looking at things at a new perspective, open up for new innovation, really investing money into the space, bringing talented...
Great videos, huh?
Yeah,
great videos.
Great videos.
That's the new standard.
and then of course, bringing new talented people into the space, and of course, raise the bar when it comes to security and a lot of tech perspectives on this. I think that is really good.
Good. I think, William, it's great that you came here and that you took the stage. It's not an easy crowd for you, to be honest, But I think education is necessary, awareness is necessary, and I think we all recognize that it's a brave move. And I personally see the potential there. I must really say, I understand that it's not the experience market, but different things. But we are looking forward to follow what you guys are doing, and especially when you open up to Windows and to other places. So currently it's still the Samsung ecosystem. So that could maybe open up new potentials. So we will definitely follow that, and looking forward to your new releases, which will be in the coming weeks and months, right? August. So the first big release will be August. So let's see what's coming up there. So thank you, Johan. Thank you, Frank, for that, and thank you to all of you for